In this video, we are going to unbox and go through the features of the Lucky Duck Revolt E-Caller. As with any E-Caller, you're going to have your instructions. They're going to come with the E-Caller. So first things first, let's take the main E-Caller unit out of the wrapper. Just like any of the E-Callers, the first thing you're going to want to do, take the antenna and the decoy out of the handle. Set those here. The antenna's just going to screw right onto the back side. Then at that point, we're going to open up the battery cover. Once again, you're going to find your 10 AA bird cage in there. We are going to replace that with the Lucky Duck lithium ion battery pack just by removing the little clip. Set that off to the side. We have our pack here. Match up the connector, plug it in. Set it back in, snap on the cover, now you're ready to go. All right, the next thing we want to do is set up our tripod. The Revolt comes with a magnetic base. This is going to be what will allow you to revolve the call. You'll notice it's magnetic. It's got the 1/4-20 thread on there. This call does come standard with a smaller tripod, although you can upgrade to a bigger tripod. Like I said, that's a standard 20 thread. What I like to do is I do like to glue this to my tripod just so that it doesn't come unconnected, maybe even just some Loctite. And then therefore, what you have now is the ability to lock this into the rotating base underneath. And now the call's up off the ground and able to spin. Okay, the last thing we want to do, we'll pull off the cover and we'll insert the decoy so you can see how it fits in there. There you go. Now some other features of this call. You'll see a channel selector switch on the side, and a lot of guys get confused with that. That is actually set up for probably snow goose hunters and guys that want to use multiple calls with one remote. You can set one E-Call on channel 1, the next E-Call will be on channel 2, and so on and so forth, and the remote will pick those up. But obviously us as coyote hunters, we're not too concerned with that. So normally what I'll do is take a little dab of glue and glue that selector switch over on channel 1, because if you're only using one E-Call and this gets switched over to channels 3 or 4, it won't ever connect to the remote. So like I said, keep it on channel 1. I'll put a little drop of hot glue or something right in there to keep that switch from getting bumped and moving on us. Some other features of this E-Call, it obviously has the horn speaker with a built-in tweeter. You have your on-off switch on the side. And then it comes with some preset buttons on the side. You have your presets along with volume and play and pause, just in case you wanted to use this call without using the remote, which probably isn't going to ever happen. Now on the back side, you have your rubber cover here, and you're going to have your SD card at the top, which is going to store all 100 sounds that this call comes with. And then you are going to have your charging port for your lithium-ion battery pack, next external speaker port, and your auxiliary port. Now with the remote, we'll open it up. It does take 3 AA batteries, so all you're going to do is open up the back. Insert the batteries, put the cover back on, and you're ready to go. Now, features of the remote, you have your on-off button. You're going to hold that in until the screen lights up. Now you'll see it's updating because I actually pulled the SD card out. It's going to show that it's updating here, which shouldn't take only a few seconds. Once it's updated, you'll actually see it'll go through there. SD link 1 was good. Now it's number 2 no link, 3 no link. That's actually going through those channel selectors like we just got talking about. This takes roughly 15, 20 seconds, and now we're good to go. Our stand timer starts, and you know that you're ready, you're connected, and you're ready to go. Some features on this screen. Obviously, you're going to have all your folders of different sounds that you can scroll down through. You're going to have your stand timer at the top. You're going to have your volume control. You're going to have your battery indicator for the remote. You have SD link is good. You have your signal from your remote to your e-call is good. And then obviously the speaker with a little X means that there's no sound playing right now. As you see, once I pick a sound here, I'm going to volume it down so it's not so loud. You actually have an individual timer as well that tells you how long that specific sound has been playing. Some other features of this call, you have your decoy button. When you push it, it'll say decoy on. Then your S goes for decoy speed. There's 3 speeds. Speed 3 will be a little faster in frequency. Speed 1 is obviously a little slower. Speed 2 is in the middle. Then you simply just hit the D button again. It'll tell you that the decoy is off. Now, unique to this call is the rotation buttons. This top one is going to rotate the call to the left. And how that works is as soon as I push it one time, it'll say scan right. That call will continue to spin until I push the button again. And once I push that button, it'll say off, and that's where the call will stop. Now, if I want to spin the call back the other direction, I'll go down to the bottom button and push it, and it'll say scan left, and it'll spin left until I push the button to stop it. Now, the middle button is called scan, meaning with just one push of the button, the call, it says auto on there, it does like a 180 scan of sound and somewhat sets up back to where the call was originally pointed. Now, some other features on the side, obviously you have your auxiliary button, which if you had an external decoy plugged into the back, which would be very tough with this call, the way you can spin, so you probably won't use that. But then you have your 4 preset buttons. Let's go through show you how to set those. Let's say we want our first preset to be Schoolyard Brawl. I'm going to highlight that sound. I'm going to run the volume up to where I want that preset volume to be, and let's say 20. I'm going to select the sound, and I'm going to pause it, all right? Then I'm going to hold in the preset button until the sound flashes. Then I know I'm set there. Now to set preset number 2, let's say we want to use some sort of squeaky rodent sound. I'll go to the rodent folder. Let's do prairie dog distress at 13. I'm going to highlight the sound real quick, hold in the preset button until it flashes. Now it's set. Once again, you have the gain button. All that's going to do is up the amount of power to the amp. You are going to lose some clarity in the sound itself, but usually when you're using gain 4, you're just really wanting volume, probably in high wind situations. But there are 4 levels of gain. Standard is 3. When you fire up the call and start it, it'll automatically start on level 3. A few other features on the front, obviously you have your volume buttons, you have your select buttons to roll up and down, you have your back button, and you have your recall button, and then you have your channel selector button right here in case you're running multiple e-calls, potentially in a snow goose setup. Once you're done with this e-call, everything does store in. Your decoy will store into the back. Like I said, this is magnetized, so it will stay there. Some guys will remove that, put that in your pocket so you don't lose it. You simply turn off the remote by holding in the power button, and it'll say power off, and it'll store right on the side of the call. And there you go. That is the Lucky Duck Revolt E-Call.